I have been. I'll be honest and say that I've been dealing with anger, not only in myself but in my family for a long time.
Yeah.
I will say I was very nervous to talk to my mom.
Yeah.
I, but I overcame that because I knew that this was something that I not only needed to do but wanted to do.
Right on.
What do you call it? I have trouble forgiving my father in many ways because he's what you say is a beta male in many ways.
Beta.
Yeah, I mean, of course, I was jealous, and in many ways, and I became that in so many ways.
So how do you feel knowing that you became like what you hate? Chris, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hi, Jessie.
Hey,
Thanks for
Chris.
taking my call. I just want to ask you a quick question.
Yes.
About forgiving your mother. I have been. I'll be honest and say that I've been dealing with anger, not only in myself but in my family for a long time.
Yep.
But I recently have found you and want to believe everything that you're saying about forgiving and losing your, being able to get rid of your anger. And I actually did sit with my mom one day just recently and asked her to forgive me for resenting her and for not protecting me and for turning me away from my father. And, and I said those words to her, although my mom speaks another language, so I had to translate. But
and what did she say in the other language?
She basically said, in return, she basically said, well, I just thought that was you, that's your nature, as far as like my anger. Like I told her, like, I'm sorry that I was always angry and frustrated with, you, but I now realize that you had, that I can't resent you for that because you didn't know what you were doing either.
Right.
And she basically said, as far as like my anger part, she said that I just thought that was you and that that I just needed to learn to live with it. So I don't know if she understood, but at the same time.
It doesn't matter if she understood or not. Let her stay in her hell. God will forgive you as you forgive her.
Yes. So as far as the anger part, what I was really hoping was that it would disappear right away, that it would, exit my life. But I wanted to ask you, how long does it take for something like that you have lived with for your whole life to disappear after you have done the forgiving?
Don't even worry about that. That's the devil asking that. That's not you. Now that you have forgiven, you're going to no longer identify with the spirit of anger. What happened was when your mother traumatized you as a kid, you identified with it. You overreacted, and you thought that spirit was you. And so you identified with it, and whatever situations would come while growing up, you thought it was happening to you. But it's not you. It has never been you. It's always been the spirit of evil that made a home in your imagination and emotions. But you just thought of you while growing up. So if it should show up now, just watch it. Do not call it you. And I promise you, because they're adults, evil, nasty spirits, if you don't identify with them, they will be taken away from you. Don't worry about it. That's the devil screaming, how long? This is too hard. It takes so long. I'm tired of the pain. And it sounds like you, and it feels like you because it's in the body, but it's not in you. You're not your body. So just don't identify and endure to the end. Go all the way to the cross with the pain, and it shall die. You'll be fine.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. That helps a lot. I'm understanding, which I'm still learning. Like I said, I'm a new listener, and I'm thankful for all the truth that you're speaking, even though, I actually come from a background of being a Bible thumper. I come from I'm entrenched basically in that whole fundamentalist movement, or was, and I found myself seeking for truth, and God pulled me out of it. But as I kept searching, I couldn't find the peace that I was looking for.
And then until recently, I realized what you were saying was true, that I had a lot of unforgiveness in my heart.
Yes.
And that was what was creating all these other issues, including the anger in my life and shame. There was a lot of shame that I'm still trying to shed because of what I was taught in the Bible thumper background. Thank you very much.
Bible thumper people are evil people, including the preacher. They're Pharisees. They're hypocrites. And they put on a front to try to make themselves feel better on the inside. Let me ask, what have you done that you should be feeling ashamed about?
Just being a human being, being imperfect. And that's what I'm saying, is that in that Bible thumper background, that's what you're taught, that you are nothing, that you should be shameful for every evil thought that you have, for every, imperfect action that you.
They lied to you. They set you up with fear and trembling, and God doesn't want that. That's what the churches do. They make the people feel fear. Oh, you're a sinner. You're going to go to hell, and you're going to always be a sinner, and you're never going to change until you die and go to heaven. They put fear in you. That fear is not from God. Who described the person that has the shame?
Who described it?
No, I'm asking you. You said you feel ashamed about some of the things you've done. Describe that person to me that is feeling ashamed. What does that? Who is that person?
The person to me who has all that shame is somebody who can't control their emotions, who has a lot of anger, pent-up anger that gets...
I know, but who are you? You said you feel ashamed. Who is the you?
I don't know. That's who I want to find out.
But so why do you say you feel ashamed when you don't know who you are?
I see.
You see what?
Yeah.
Yeah, what?
I see how I'm claiming shame when when that's not who I am, because I don't even know who I am. So I do the silent prayer. I've been practicing the silent prayer since I've learned about it from you, and I still have a lot to learn, obviously, but I don't know who I am.
The worst thing that any human being can do to him or herself is to condemn yourself. There's no self to condemn. What you're doing is giving that false identity life when you condemn yourself. There is no you to condemn. Your sins have been forgotten and wiped away. You're not a sinner. You're not a saint. God has never judged you. You have never done anything wrong. And you're giving power to evil when you condemn yourself, when you're not even guilty of anything. You're giving authority to evil to live in you, to control you, and destroy you. God never condemned you for anything. He never blamed you. He never accused you. He sent his son, and all your sins are wiped away, and it's impossible for you to sin. No such thing. It's always been... So what?
Amen to that.
It's always been evil in your mind and emotions. The good ones and the bad ones are evil, and it lives in the body, but it's not you. And you have identified with it. And that's what must die, are those identities. You're not your body. You're not your thought. You're not a drug addict. You're not a slut. You're not anything. Stop calling yourself that. You're not even a patriot. You're not even an American. You're not a Christian. Drop all titles and just live.
Just live. That's what I want.
Have you forgiven your father?
Yes, after talking with my mom and thinking about how my mom did turn me away. My father was not the greatest dad to me, but and he has passed away several years ago. But I have forgiven him. Yes.
Nice. Okay. We'll do the silent prayer. And and keep your eyes, be aware, be conscious of all those thoughts. Don't run away from them by turning the TV on or getting something to eat at the time that you're feeling loneliness or fear or doubt or worry. In those moments, you watch those thoughts, false identities that are not you, and the light of God is trying to save you from. That's what God is trying to save you from. Come as you are, in fear and trembling, in loneliness and lostness. Come as you are, and I will save you from it. He's trying to save you from hell. So be aware of that, but don't call it you. Don't name it. Don't argue with it. Don't argue with the devil inside of you. Don't argue with the devil inside of other people. I promise you, you're going to have an amazing life. You're going to finally live life that's already laid out for you.
Thank you. I needed to hear that. Thank you.
And never call yourself a sinner again. You're not a sinner. When you went and forgave, the only thing that was keeping you in hell, your unwillingness to forgive your mother and your father. Once you did that, the light, salvation changed your heart, and the light came on. Now you're going to see the not you, and you'll be fine.
Yes. I will say I was very nervous to talk to my mom.
Yeah.
But I overcame that because I knew that this was something that I not only needed to do, but wanted to do.
Right on.
And you're right. I just need to learn to live now. I can live now.
And just face the evil inside the imagination, because most people are afraid to face evil inside of them, but you face it in the same way you face your mother, and evil will have to just depart from you. Okay.
Okay.
Let me know how it goes.
Thank you. Will do.
All right.
Thank you, Jessie.
You're welcome.
Right. Bye.
Amazing. Louis, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hey, how's it going, Mr. Peterson?
All is well, sir.
So I got a question, man. So what do you call it? I've been watching your show, watching other programs and stuff like that when it came to, self-help and, men becoming men, basically. And I wanted to know, first off, I forgave my mom, you know what I'm saying, for being who she is and stuff like that, She's her husband's problem now, so, it's okay. But what do you call it? I have trouble forgiving my father in many ways because he's what you say is a beta male in many ways.
Beta!
Exactly, man. He's like a beta male in many ways.
Right.
I don't think he basically... he's not somebody that I would say that protected me, could have protected me from my mother, but mostly just ran away from the situation. And, made other kids, raised other kids and stuff like that. And they became betas as well and whatnot, and I do my thing. I work, I handle my business and stuff like that. I got a business of my own. But you always want that validation from your dad. You want that, validation basically. So, yeah, what do I do about that?
How old are you now?
I'm 33.
Oh, okay. What did he do to you?
I mean, I guess I was always, between me and his sons, I was always the scapegoat of the situation. He always favored the sons that he basically raised. And the sons that he basically raised kind of went down the path that he's going, not doing much, not taking care of business. And I feel like I've always taken care of business, either on my own or without him and stuff like that. But I think there's times that I feel like he's intimidated by that or feels some type of way about that. But, he never really vocalizes that kind of stuff.
But did he say that he was intimidated by that?
No, but I feel like his actions and his character show that in many ways,
Can you hold for me?
I'm sorry?
Can you hold on? Let me take a quick break.
No worries.
Hold on, all right? Let me go quickly back to Louis out of, first time call out of Indiana, and Louis is trying to forgive his father. He said his father's a beta male. Father left him with his mother. He went and married somebody else, made some more kids, and Louis... want to know what to do about it. Louis, sorry about that, Louis.
No worries.
And so you believe that your father is jealous of you, what you're doing, you say?
I mean, I feel like he's jealous. He used to be jealous of the influence I used to have on my brothers. You know, I made different decisions. He has, you know, he never graduated from high school and stuff like that. I went ahead and just graduated from high school, you know, did my thing as, you know, at work and stuff like that. But there was always that, you know, everybody else gets lemonade, I get water type of shit. You know what I'm saying?
How did you know he was jealous of you?
Well, he's always expressed it through, like, his actions. He's always, like, expressed himself like, hey, you know, your brothers, you know, only come over when you're around, or they only do this when you're around, and they don't do that for me. He's a crier, as you can say. You know what I'm saying? He's a very emotional man, I guess you could say. As masculine as he pretends to be, he's, you know, always emotional.
And so has he ever said, I'm jealous of you?
No, I don't think he would say something like that.
Well, who told you
sure.
that, and where did you get the idea from that he was jealous?
Well, I've always heard, you know, him talk behind my back, you know, certain things like, hey, you know, what do you call it? Your brother is so, I guess he's more smart. He thinks he's so smart. He thinks he's this. And, you know, it's just certain things that my brothers usually tell me. He would never say it to my face, though. He's just that type of person.
And when you went and talked to him about all this over the years, what did he say?
He always gaslights and just says, no, it's not true. You know, I don't know. He's more of he'd rather avoid confrontation about certain situations like that, but he'd rather talk shit behind your back.
And so you went to your father to ask him why was he jealous and why was he treated this way, and he wouldn't respond?
He doesn't respond. He pretty much, like, you know, tells you what you want to hear and just rather continue doing the same shit. And I haven't spoken to him in 3 years, actually.
Just FYI, we are on the air. We have young kids listening to.
I apologize. No worries.
All right. And so you went to your father to talk to him about it, and he refused to have a conversation about it?
I feel like he refuses to have a conversation. He refuses to kind of like...
what did you say to him when you went to him? You said what?
Like, I basically said, you know, what exactly is your problem with me? You know, and the last time I was supposed to speak to him, I kind of like I thought I was in the process of forgiving him, but and trying to get equal exchange, you know. But I don't know. He simply just favors his sons more than he favors me. You know what I'm saying?
And you're his son by your mother. He went and had some sons by another woman, right?
Yeah.
Do you love your father?
Yes, I do.
And where's the proof that you love him?
By sympathizing for his situation most of the time, you know? Like,
what does that mean, sympathizing?
There was a time where I called him, you know. There was times that I, you know, checked up on him. I saw if he was okay, you know. But, you know, once I saw I wasn't, you know, given the same stuff, yeah, man, I kind of like say, you know what, man, I need to handle my own stuff. You know what I'm saying?
So where's the proof that you love your father?
Right now, I guess still thinking about the situation, maybe. I guess still, I don't know, keeping an eye out on that side of the family, you know. Yeah, that's my only proof right now.
And why are you jealous of him and his sons on the other family that he seemed to be close to? Why are you jealous of that?
I think I'm jealous of that because I never had what they had. You know, that relationship with, you know, with my father, that, what do you call it? They got to come home to their mom and their dad. You know what I'm saying? He's not with that woman anymore, but they got to have that kind of stuff. You know, as a kid, I used to go over and, you know, they used to have the, you know, the PlayStation, they used to have the N64, and I always came home to nothing, you know?
Right. I understand that.
You know,
and so have you noticed that you became like what you hate? You're jealous of your brothers in the same way you say your father is jealous of you? You became like what you hate.
Yeah. In many ways, yeah. Wow. Yeah. I guess you can say that.
How you feel about that?
I mean, yeah. I mean, of course, I was jealous, and you know, in many ways, and I became that in so many ways, you know.
So how do you feel knowing that you became like what you hate?
I mean, it's a hard pill to swallow, that's for sure, you know.
And why?
I'm not sure, to tell you the truth. Maybe I need to think about that a little bit more, you know.
And I want you to know you don't love your father either. You are yearning for him, but you don't love him. Let me ask,
Why don't I love him?
That's a good question. Let me first, when you went to your mother and forgave her for turning you away from your father, what did she say?
Well, you know, she said it was her fault. She wished she had, had given me more time with her father. Like, she moved to a whole other state, you know. So it's kind of like, you know, I've forgiven her for that. I've forgiven her for a lot of things, actually.
Okay.
You know?
Nice.
So,
and so
yeah.
You don't love your father?
I don't love my father.
No.
So what do I do about that?
Forgive him. Just like God, when you forgive your father for being whatever he's done, because he couldn't help himself, his mother screwed him up, his father didn't protect him from his mother, and he hates his mother. That's why he going from woman to woman trying to get love, not understanding that women don't have love. Women only have hate. And if you loved him, you will forgive him so God can forgive you, and you'll overcome your fallen state. You will be free inwardly because you love your father. You won't forgive him. How will God forgive you? And you're unwilling to forgive your father. You're living the same life that he's living. You're miserable on the inside because you have not forgiven.
Yeah.
Your father loved you. He just don't know how to. When he left your mother. He didn't leave you. And he doesn't know how to deal with you because you treat him the way your mother treated him. You're very judgmental.
Yeah. That's it. Yeah, you're right. Never saw it that way.
I understand that. And that's what anger does. It blinds you that you don't see the reality of what's really going on. It makes you think that someone else is your problem when the problem is really inside of you.
That's it.
You should, what I recommend is that you really look at this and go to your father and apologize for resenting him. Now that you understand, and whatever his reaction is or non-reaction is on him, but you apologize for the way you treated him. You treated him the way your mother treated him because you identify with your mother. And I'm sorry, Dad, for resenting you. I understand now. And God will forgive you and you'll be free. Once you forgive your father, that's what it means to return to your father. Your earthly father is to forgive him. His mother screwed him up, just like your mother screwed you up. And God will forgive you, and I'm telling you, your whole inward life, you will start to live from within, and you will love your earthly father. No matter what his situation is, you will hold nothing against him. You will be completed.
I understand.
But you got to forgive him and stop treating him the way your mother treated him.
Yeah. I understand, Mr. Peterson. Thank you very much.
And that void that you have, that emptiness that is crying out for a father, will be fulfilled. That will be taken away from you once you forgive your father. God said, before you enter into the kingdom of heaven within, you must go and forgive. Forgive your mother and forgive your father. And you'll be fine. That way you don't repeat the same life, because you're going to end up with the same kind of woman your mother is. You're going to have kids. You're going to do the same thing to your kids. You won't be there for them.
Yeah. That's happened already with an ex-wife. So, yeah, that's why I got to a process to forgive my mom, you know.
Yeah.
Because I finally understood that situation. I'm like, damn, you know, excuse me. I mean, darn, you know, what do you call it, married my mother, basically.
Yes.
You know, so.
Every woman you get involved with will be mama, and you won't be able to handle her.
Yeah, I understand. All right.
So go
I appreciate it.
Go and apologize to your father. Hey, Father, I'm sorry for resenting you. I understand now. But have no expectation from him, because now you're giving him love as God is giving you love, and you don't need love from anyone because you will be getting love from God. The only real love is the love that comes from God, not from another human being, period. Human beings don't have love.
Understood. Yeah.
And do the silent prayer, rebuildingtheman.com/prayer. Start doing that so God can bring you out of your imagination. All these thoughts you're having are straight out of hell, and it's due to anger. So do the silent prayer, be still and know God, and he'll make you free. It's going to blow your mind.
You got it, sir. Thank you very much.
So go forgive your father. Let me know how it goes.
You got it, man. Thank you.
All right. Amazing. Absolutely amazing.